can actually grab him. So it looks like it's going to be a core Snapfire though, right? From the looks of it right here.
Or
clock.
Or core clock, true.
Yeah, more likely I would say, right?
Yeah, probably.
The clockwork.
Rubik, super hot hero right now. I think this actually might be one of my favorite fours currently of the patch. Recently been watching, it's just this new build that people are doing too. You get this circlet, triple branch, and you're actually a beast in laning phase. Trade hits, he's versus Viper. Viper hates to play against himself.
No, I just love, yeah, versus Viper it's really good because you can steal the other toxin and just destroys Viper, but overall Rubik is just a strong hero right now. He's a strong trader. There's a reason why people are doing circlet and a couple of branches. It's because his attack speed, attack animation got buffed a little bit, right? So overall, you can't trade with him in the lane. There aren't many position 5s that can do that. Phoenix is definitely not one of those.
It's actually crazy how they did that, right? It was when CM and Rubik both were there, like, we're going to give these two some attack speed in laning phase. And CM's like, well, this still sucks ass, you know, hitting for 0. But Rubik really benefited on that one, for sure. And they buffed his Fade Bolt too, at least in damage, reduced in damage reduction. But yeah, I think his lane is just actually stronger now.
I feel like we've had quite a few patches where Rubik was the star of the show, though. Especially around August times.
Yeah, because there's always heroes that are strong, and Rubik will be able to steal some of their stuff and make it work for himself as well. And there we go with the Spectre.
Okay, so that's why they picked the Viper to cover. But now, I mean, there's a Rubik that can steal in situations. He can steal another toxin versus Spectre, and that just ruins the hero entirely.
Yeah, but I'm just... It's so peculiar that 496 picked this Viper so early on, and then Execration don't ban out the Spectre. Because you can't pick it, right? So why not just ban it out in the second banning stage?
Yeah, they don't have good ways to protect their egg right now at all. Like, it's just a stun from a snowball and a punch right now to actually protect the egg nicely, which is not the greatest. I feel like they already have really good egg hitters. Like, Nature's Prophet plus Snapfire are pretty decent. It all depends on which role they're playing, but NP alone, you know, you can, once you get your trap.
That's really their problem with the way they opened. Like, you opened this draft with Phoenix and Viper, and now you have 3 picks, and you really have to utilize them to protect the egg as well. Tusk alone is not gonna cut it. You need something extra.
Is there an offlaner that would still do that? Because at the moment, the Phoenix, like, we don't know for sure yet what role he's gonna be in.
There are many offlaners still left in the pool. Usually when you think about those, like Mars is there still. Beastmaster is still in the pool, I believe, as well.
I like the draft order that Execration's done, though, because looking at their draft, like, who's going where, right? We actually don't really know exactly. It's really ambiguous, so they can change things up pretty much entirely, and they're saving their win condition for their last pick.
They are.
So I think they're setting themselves up for a pretty good shot, at least, versus this draft.
This Nature's Prophet can be on the safe lane just as easily, right?
Exactly.
So that's pretty good for them. The Clockwork Rubik versus the Phoenix Spectre is interesting because Phoenix and Spectre aren't really threatened by them. Like, you can run away, but the lane should be easy for Execration to just stand in and farm. You won't be threatened as well. Arc Warden banned out. Okay, this is a hero that's on a steady rise, I would say, ever since the Midas buffs.
I wonder if they go for something like I mean, I think Lifestealer is not that bad, actually.
For Execration.
It's weird versus Viper, but I've seen these games where Lifestealer just eats Spectre and they just can actually run over the game. Not sure if it's something they really like. So Magnus as well. They're weird. Their team looks weird to me.
Yeah, it's a very greedy offlaner right now for 496 Gaming. I think it's offlane at least.
Who's the 5?
I mean, they just picked Rubik into Magnus too.
Yeah.
Like, this looks like this just became such a good Rubik game very quickly just because of that last pick.
DBZ is gonna have a field day at this point then.
How do you feel about the troll for Execration? Is it a problem that you're versus Viper, or you don't care? It should be pretty decent versus Spectre, right?
Might be pretty decent, yeah.
Isn't the thing about Troll being kited by Viper still a thing?
Yeah. It is. That's definitely an issue.
He at least has some, like, mechanisms to get on top, like Snapfire Cookie. That always is going to help a lot versus those type of things.
For sure.
Are we missing some, like, big hero that we're not thinking about here for carry? Slark was one of them, but Slark's banned. That's the one I was thinking of originally, but
There's Sven, but he also gets kited quite heavily.
By the way, this entire draft, 496 Gaming took quite a while to think about their bans, to think about their picks, while Execration almost snap-picked almost everything, and they're only now going into their bonus time.
So this last ban from 496 Gaming could have messed with them a little bit, or they're just taking their time talking about the strategy and they know exactly what they want to pick.
Or who wants to go where, right?
It feels like the latter, because I felt like they were just trying to pressure 496 with the way they were drafting, the speed they were drafting at.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because after watching, you know, the secret game where they're like, yeah, we randomed like it, you know, it's good to know when we got like some time constraints going on.
It happens every now and then. It happens to the best.
Sometimes
of us.
It happens at
Sometimes
TI.
at TI, you know, you just get gyro, you know, and then you just lose because you have a gyro.
They almost made it work.
No, almost.
It was
for the first 20 minutes,
it
and
was
then
gyro void, right?
Yeah.
It can work. Like
yeah, it's the lifestealer. I think that was the last thing I saw that works well versus Phoenix. You eat Spectre. It's all about the snowball lineup too. Like you can press your towers, you can have an early timing, you go your Armlet Deso, and you just don't let the Spectre sit back and farm. You just play super hyper aggressive.
But Tusk is the one with the snowball.
It's true.
Sorry.
they have some problems, right? Like all these heroes that we mentioned have the same problem. They're playing versus Viper, and because of that, they might be kited a little bit throughout the game. So that could be a little bit problematic for Execration. But overall, I like what they got going for themselves, and I really love this Rubik. Like,
yeah, the Rubik's so nice.
It's very hard going against the Rubik, even though that is exactly what the odds are doing.
So what? It's Magnus offlane, Viper mid versus Nature's Prophet. It looks like. Sounds okay for. Doesn't sound horrible for Nature's Prophet at all.
I think
sounds
it
fine.
should be fine.
Yeah. I think if he was versus Magnus, it would be It would be pretty bad, right?
I mean, they can swap it around.
But
So
then
you could put Viper plus Tusk on the offlane, could you not?
I guess,
Easily.
I guess it's
and
possible.
Magnus mid, I think that could definitely work for 496.
Viper's offlane always scares me though, because he's so slow. There's so much chasing room, and then there's a Nature's Prophet on the enemy team that can pour it in and like change the.
You do have Tusk. He can brawl for you. He can stand in front. Like there are some upsides to it as well. Here. I actually wouldn't mind to see this Viper with the Tusk on the offlane and Magnus mid versus Nature's Prophet, because Magnus is gonna have a blast. He will just. He can be your second core that carries the game.
So is it if Rubik has a great game, Execration wins, and otherwise it's going the way of 496, or?
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of. I think they just have a lot of BK. They have BKB piercing disables versus Lifestealer. As long as they can get it off, I think Execration just has to play really fast, though. I think if they can play fast, don't let the Spectre, Magnus, Phoenix use their ultis like, oh, every 2 minutes they're fighting, then of course the Magnus Spectre is going to be happy. But Execration's got to just pick that tempo up and look to play fast.
Yeah, they do have the heroes to play fast, but usually when you have to play fast, you're more prone to make mistakes, and you can't have too many of those here because you're playing versus Spectre, so 496 for me.
Okay.
Fair enough. Let's see how fast Execration can play this first game of the best of 5 grand finals. And let's head over to a commentary team of Lacoste and ODPixel.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, let's find out who's going to be the ones to come out on top of this best of 5, 496 versus Execration. Lacoste, we've just seen the lineup for the first game. What are you sort of feeling about it? We're getting this Lifestealer coming through as the final pick from Execration, a hero that's kind of been... It's been underwhelming a lot of times. Is it going to be all right here in this game? The panel seem to think it would have its strengths here, or are you still concerned?
It is a 10th pick Lifestealer, so, you know, you're not picking that hero in the first phase that he gets countered, but there are counters to him. Like you have a BKB piercing, 2 BKB, 3 BKB, 4 BKB piercing abilities now that I'm counting it. Like you have Tusk, you have Supernova, you have Viper Strike, and RP. So, yeah, now that I'm thinking of
so
it.
I was like, there's all this stuff to go through the raid. Like, sure, you can see the appeal of the Lifestealer in the sense like, I'm going to hit the egg. I don't have to worry about the Viper break. I can still lifesteal. But yeah, you're getting Viper Strike, you're getting RP'd, you're getting Supernova stunned, you're getting uppercutted. I don't know. I'm a little doubtful on this Lifestealer.
I think you and me were having a discussion yesterday when who was it? Viking, when they first faced Jug.
They first faced the Jug.
And then you asked, me, would you rather have
Jug or a
Lifestealer in the first phase? And I did not have a great answer for it.
No. I mean, maybe we'll be shown wrong here. We'll see what they're able to do, Execration, see if they can make this Lifestealer pick work. But And as the panel pointed out, there are other strengths. They do have that Rubik against the Magnus, which is going to be pretty nice in the team fights and just in the general course of the game if he's able to grab the Empower and grab it, give it over to his Lifestealer. We'll see.
And after seeing that Snapfire pick, and it's also a core Snapfire, they just decided to shift Phoenix to position 5, which is a correct choice. You know.
Yeah.
She just shreds, no puns intended, through the egg with the level 1 little shredder. Once you get to level 12 with the Phoenix, it becomes much harder. But now they even have a Lifestealer, so I don't think like Phoenix is gonna have a great time.
No.
See you later, nerds.
No, yeah, you want to put the priority on your other heroes as they've done.
These are also not the best heroes you can defend the egg with, except Magnus. Like, Mag is great, you know, with the skewer, with the RP, but other 3 heroes don't provide that much.
Oh, I see. Both teams very excited here to play in this grand finals. A little bit of banter between the two of them. Looks like that. Yeah, these are squads they're very used to be playing against one another. A lot of the SEA Dota has been going on. We've had the leagues and stuff. And these teams ready to go head-to-head. And as we saw in the odds, did slightly favour the chances of 496. We'll see if that's going to be accurate here as we get the action back on.
I like Spectre's name, 496.458.
All
That's
the
a
number.
lot of math, yeah.
That's also a phone number, at least in the UK. So if you're in Britain, give it a ring. See if the Spectre picks up.
If they pause,
Yeah, you'll know you got the right number. Let's see who we've got in the mid lane. Raging against Hung.
Raging Potato is also such a great nickname.
It is. I do like Raging. It is a good name. Just gives you a nice image. It's very angry potato on fire. Top lane, first blood. We'll be able to snipe that Phoenix with the Fade Bolt as he was able to quite step away. Mid lane just straight up trade farm. Treants keep coming out. Ken's able. Raging Potato is able to get his. Actually, wait, that's not. Is that Raging Potato or is that Ken?
I think that's Raging Potato.
Alright, bottom. RR. He's going to fall there now. Palos also going to get chased. The shards are out. Palos is going to die as well. Alright. What's going on here?
I like this lane. Like,
Yeah?
Panel talked about it. I've seen Viper picked up in some high-level pubs as the off lane. You know, sometimes it looks like oh yeah, this shit is good. But sometimes it feels like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
But when paired up with Tusk, it's a ton of slow and you have a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And a lot of control and trap, especially early on where there's no points in the rage on Palos. He's got to be careful. So the ping's out again. I mean, they know, you know, level 2, he's got the points in the open wounds and the lifesteal, so they can play aggressive onto that lifestealer. How's the farm looking up top? 4-5-8. 8 CS, 9 for 2 on the Snapfire.
I've never heard this taunt.
Oh, that was nice. Whose was that? The Rubik?
I believe it was Rubik.
It must be. Maybe there's a high level one in the battle pass. Yeah, that's definitely a rarer taunt. Some fresh new beats being dropped here by the Rubik. Another kill down bottom. They're getting quite a lot out of this bottom lane now.
At one point, that lane is gonna be unplayable.
Yeah.
Like, you have Clockwork as your position 5, who's not gonna scale that much, and then you have a Lifestealer. Like, what are you gonna do if you did not provide anything early on? It's you might put some extra points in Rage just to, you know, be sure that you don't get blasted straight away.
Oh yeah, you kind of need it. It's a very scary lane that he's trying to farm into. Top lane, Raging Potato and Earl. Keep holding strong. Bottom lane. Ooh, shards won't grab Palos. As
Raging Palace and Raging Potato in the same team.
he's out. A lot of rage here from the Execration boys. Now 4-minute runes. See who's going to be able to grab the power rune here as they eye it up. It's going to be down bottom.
Not the best one.
No.
Especially if you don't have a bottle. Like, you can really do so little with the rune.
Yeah.
Scout things out, you know, try to stack a camp, but that's pretty much it. Especially on a melee hero. You're not harassing anyone with it.
On top lane, Raging Potato. It looks like he cookied in for this. So he cannot cookie his way back out. The courier does go down. L's able to pick that up. But 4-9-6, getting the kills out of these lanes, both top and bottom now. Starting to show some early weaknesses. Spectre's going to get the place to farm. Thanks to the setup and down bottom. I mean, see if Palos still getting good farming now. Actually able to get aggressive onto Dat BB.
Oh, nice cogs.
Pushing him back into the reach of the lifesteal. He's got the Fairy Fire. They're kiting out Palos, though. Palos trying to find Dat BB in the trees. One more hit will do it, but Dat BB, he's salving up. Can he continue to juke this? He's trying. Palos is hunting. Dat BB still alive. As Palos finally finds him, we'll have Ken come over as well with a TP, make sure that they can get the two of them.
There seems to be some issues. When you said that BB, I thought you were talking about specific
No,
Bristleback. Yeah, this BB is, you know.
That's his name, Dat BB.
A lot of good nicknames in this game. Yeah, so with the rotation of Nature's Prophet, they secure a kill. I thought that they're not going to be able to recover, but they're doing okay. And also, there was a nice cog pushbacks. I think Tusk needs to be with Viper in the lane all the time. Otherwise, like, you do not want to leave him alone. He can't really do that much.
Well, the farm continues for Hung Hung. Top lane. Dagger out to Potato. 458's getting a little low. Have they got much regen in this lane? They haven't, actually. It's just down to the stick. So he's going to have to play a little bit cautious here, especially with the potential of Ken, looking for opportunities across the map as the Prophet. Always ready to TP in if Execration are able to push him in past that top tower. Stacks being made as well. Earl setting up for the farm to be picked up from probably Palos.
This is something that we don't see this build on Nature's Prophet, at least in EU CIS region, going for drums as the first item. It's a great stats, like, don't get me wrong, drums is an insanely good item right now, but, you know, having that silence, rushing Orchid, which is pretty cheap item at the moment, just sounds better to me.
Yeah, we'll see what he can make happen with this. I mean, mid, RR's come across, but between the two of them, they're not ever really going to get their hands on a Magnus. Magnus always able to escape with the skewer. This has left Palos a little vulnerable bottom. He's already used the rage. And that's a dead and gone lifesteal. RR
I don't think
over.
you're getting a kill on Viper.
Oh, he might
well, with the TP they can.
Yeah, here we go. Ken, he says, that's mine, thank you. Takes the kill. RR still ends up going down to the poison. But Ken more than happy with RR's TP and an aggression that sets up the Prophet for a freebie.
When you're playing position 5 Clockwork, you're going to take any kind of trade.
Yeah.
Get the XP and die afterwards. You're pretty set. Your job is done, exactly.
Yeah, you want the refuel, get the mana and HP back up. Rather that than mess around with sending regen out to yourself. So 7.5 minutes in, Ken, the man taking the lead as this Prophet with these moves, these kills that he's finding. So he is going to be this early sort of powerhouse that Execration can make moves with wherever they want to. They've got good setup on their heroes to buy time for the TP to come in.
Nice move from Magnus. He's stealing their stacks.
He is. Those stacks that are nicely prepared earlier ended up going the way of Hung Hung. As now, he's going to, thinking about the RP, he's going to skewer in. And out he goes.
Time to bail.
Yeah.
Just DP's back to mid lane, continues farming. Ken is extremely farmed at the moment.
Yeah. This Prophet's getting pretty big, so these early items of the drums are going to be there very quickly for him.
I don't like the build that Lifestealer has queued up. Like, he has Hand of Midas. You want to get that Armlet, you want to get that Deso, and keep fighting against the Spectre. But because in this kind of a matchup, I still feel like Spectre late game is just going to win, especially when you have all these BKB piercing abilities. You know what's underrated, Owen? Aghanim Scepter on Tusk.
Yeah, what the kick. I mean, against a hero like Lifesteal, it can be very, very strong. Bottom lane, carnage. As they're just diving in past the tower. Can 458 get his way out of there? Ken's come over with the TP. As 458 should be fine. One more dagger away, Sprout for the vision, but can't get the final few punches in. So the Spectre's away.
That 4-man shield keeping him alive there. A lot of damage reduction coming out from that neutral item. It's one of the best ones you can get. Either that or Iron Talon. I feel like I say that every tier 1 item is the best tier 1 item whenever I see it. I don't know why.
And now back bottom, Ken stuck around a little too long. The respawns come in. They kill off the Prophet. Oh, will manage to walk out of there, but they're getting Spectre involved quite a bit. They do need to do that though. Spectre's farm, you know, it wasn't the best coming out of the laning stage. Mid, RR dying underneath the tower.
Bombi gets the last hit.
And just sort of chaos all over the place here. Both teams ready to fight. Palos, he's diving in up top. Onto Bombi past the tier 1. TP coming in as well from Ken. He's ready to get involved in more action. It's another kill for him.
Trap your life stealers, summon some trees. That's going to be a lot of pressure on that tower. Catapult.
Raging Potato dying in his jungle. As Yassi and Dat BB take him out. And Earl, is he going to go down here hung? He's got the shockwave in a second. Earl's trying to juke, but he can't run away from this. Just kills everywhere.
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
it's pure chaos
it
right
really
now.
is.
19 kills, 10 minutes in. It's been a while since I watched Southeast Asian Dota, but
it's crazy.
Very entertaining.
Oh, he's out, and there's nothing to cancel this, so see ya. He's off. Palos has the time and looking on the Midas. Still about 400 gold to go before he has that recipe. So needing a bit of time. But yeah, as you mentioned, we'll be interested to see if it pays out for him.
Yeah, look at these items. Like, if someone told you, like a couple of months ago, that Viper's gonna have a Bracer, a Null Talisman, that Magnus gonna have a Bracer and a Wraith Band, it just, you know, feels weird playing Dota for 15 plus years, having these heroes build items that, like, never fit them.
Yeah. It obviously works, you know, we're seeing teams of all levels going for things, yeah, in particular heroes, as you say, like these strength mids, Magnus getting that Wraith Band, extra bit of armor and attack speed to help with the farm. And mid lane, tower down, Cookie in, onto the Tusk, and Bombi is there with the backup. RR cogging in the trees, hook shots his way out, and he's dead. There's not any getting out for RR this time. But they got the tower. Decent timing as well here. Execration taking out that mid-tier 1 at 11 minutes in.
And it's also not that good of a clockwork game, especially since it's position 5. They have Spectral Dagger to get out of the cogs, Snowball, Dive, Skewer, you name it. Pretty much everyone has an ability, you know.
And Viper's like, all right, I'll just put down the poison and kill you whilst you're stuck in with me. It is, yeah, definitely not an easy clock game.
It's still a good timing hand of Midas, considering the laning stage that he had.
This is a horn for Ken. That's a horn well worth it. Ken was the man leading the way as his Prophet. So any opportunity to take him out, which they will get plenty of. Spectre, obviously a hero that works very nicely for catching and killing that Prophet.
Don't forget that Spectre farming with Empower. So that's always going to be an issue for the Radiant team. Like, they need to be making moves.
I'll see what they can get here with this smoke as they try and make a move whilst Hornet is down. Hook shot in. Can they keep the Spectre controlled? The kisses coming in as well as the telekinesis. 458 just running at the Snapfire to make sure there's no more damage from the kisses, and it's going to work. He's in as he's out. He's away from the attempted gank there from Execration. The Supernova's down. Ken's trying to take it out with Raging Potato's help. They will be able to do so. Ken now go for the TP away, and he's out of there. Makes it away. Raging Potato will be left behind, but can they actually finish this kill off? RR's going to head over from the side to look to push him back with the cogs, keeping them safe, and it's going to pay off. They keep themselves alive. They'll try and turn with a Cookie attempt. The Cookie won't hit, but Ken's in with the TP. That BB TP straight away out of this. Yassi, can he make it out? His TP is on cooldown. So no escape for the Tusk, as Execration will be able to chase down Yassi.
The fighting never stops. I love that play from Spectre where she uses a dagger and gets on top of Grandma.
Yeah.
You know, you need to get close so the kisses can't hit you.
It worked out perfectly, at least for the Spectre in that sense, but overall Execration's still going to be happy with getting those cleanup kills.
Now Mag is ready to fight. He has a Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, RP's ready.
Level 14 at 14 minutes in casually.
Not too bad.
Yeah. He's been getting that XP.
We see more and more Magnus just disassembling that Echo Saber, getting Orchid and a BKB from that.
Yeah. It was a good game for that, would you say? To do so, I mean, what Orchid... It's going to be super nice against Lifestealer, right? He doesn't want to build anything against it.
Yeah, looks very good.
Yeah.
And they have very limited abilities that go through Magic Immunity. It's only Clockwork.
Okay. Quick kill on him. RR does step close, but not close enough for Yassi to get a hold on him. Still ready to play. You know, this strong Magnus, a huge issue for Execration right now. They've got to be careful when Hung Hung's in the area. As this mid lane push, oh, RR! It's going to be off the mark with a hook shot, straight onto the range creep at the back of the skewer away. The combo will not be there to set up for this Mortimer's Kisses. On the back of it, the Supernova did come in, was successful as Bombi turns with the Sunray onto Raging Potato. Honk comes out as they're ready to dive in. RR pops down the cogs in his attempt to keep himself safe. Lifestealer jumps in to give him a burst of heal. RR still ticking down to the poison and will fall. Dat BB just turns back, TP's out. They've got nothing to stop it.
How many times did 496 just TP out in front of them? If Clockwork is dead, if Telekinesis is used, you know, it's very easy to do it. And this early 4-staff from Viper doing so much, you know. You're playing against Lifestealer, against the Clockwork, Sprout, you name it. It's the best item they can get in this game.
Yeah, I mean, now pretty much every single hero on 496's lineup cannot be controlled by those abilities. Sprout and Cogs are very, very hard to utilize now. Everybody's got an escape. A 2k lead for 496 now, and a lead that's only going to continue to grow unless Execration can make some big plays. They're trying to farm up against this Empower lineup. Magnus's farm is only going to get bigger and bigger.
For Execration, it's going to be crucial that Rubik steals Nether Toxin from Viper. It's going to break Spectre, it's going to break Viper. Like, you get so much value out of that spell.
Yeah, it's an absolute must-have for Execration in these fights. That I think if you're all, that's all you're looking at. You're just looking at that Viper, making sure that you get the grab. He's got it at the moment. Obviously, one of the pluses, not a spell that's too hard to steal from Viper.
I remember when you could just steal Viper Strike from Viper.
That's all he had.
That's all he had.
And it wasn't bad to steal, was it? Strong spell. As top. This time they will have the TP cancel. The TP not working out this time for Bombi. They lift him up. Pressure now being put on down bottom. Palos has his Maelstrom complete. So a little bit of fighting potential, but still very much geared towards hitting the creeps, trying to farm at a rate that keeps up with the Spectre with this Midas Maelstrom. It's going to be hard to do, so you see there as well. Spectre this game 2-0-4. They've not been able to take him out at all.
Spectre at the 4th place in terms of net worth, even though she is farming with Empower. Not right now, but you also have Mag, who steals. We can call it a steal. A lot of farm hook shot in.
So they can finish up Potato. They can with the Haunt. They'll get him. They'll turn over towards RR. Raging Potato, he is going to buy back on the Snapfire. Comes in with the TP towards mid. RR will live as the Lifestealer jumps in, gives him that extra bit of HP for 5. Hung Hung coming in the backlines though with the RP. Drops it down, skewers over the Lifestealer. Palos, he's got to be careful. Ken's been taken out. Hung Hung's just smashing through them all. RR's down. Raging Potato jumped in for this, but he's trapped in the cogs with Hung Hung at 458. He's dead for 70 seconds. The Supernova pushing back the rest of Execration as Bombi dives in. Hung Hung again with another skewer. This Magnus just destroying them. He's level 18 after that fight at 18 minutes in. But they couldn't deal with him. They cannot deal with this Magnus.
I just not feeling this Lifestealer. This build, Maelstrom, Hand of Midas, like you needed items to fight right here, right now. You have Nature's Prophet who's having an okay time, but then your offlane is a Snapfire. You know, she's just gonna build these team fighting items. She also bought back and died in the previous fight, so I don't think this hero is gonna scale.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
But they do have a combo, you know. I've tried it in the pubs.
Yeah.
Lifestealer, you infest one of the guys, then Snapfire gets Ags, spits them out. So it's a surprise gank. Nature's Prophet TPs from a side. I don't think that's gonna happen, you know, but we have the theory craft. How are they gonna come back into this game?
Yeah, because that's the thing. You look at the lineup and it's like, who would 496 actually care about being surprised by? You know, it's like, who's Lifestealer bringing in with him that 496 is like, oh, you got us now. Is it a Rubik or is it this clock on the front with the Lifestealer? They probably just don't care, 496. They're like, all right, we'll just kill both of you. It's going to be very hard for Execration to make plays. They're trying with the smoke. See, 20-minute bounty runes. Still, yeah, this Magnus, he's the problem. Bottom. Yeah, see, going in on Raging Potato, but the TP is in from Ken, and yeah, that's not gonna work.
Not sure what the plan there was, you know. Snapfire is pretty tanky with the mech. Has a lot of strength gain as a hero.
I guess he just wanted to die, yeah, see, I mean, yeah. Not gonna be able to do that one on your own. Orchid's finished for Hung Hung as well now, so extra bit of control. Top lane, they will manage to find the catch onto the Bombi Phoenix, and no way to get that silence off him. On the high ground though, Hung Hung waiting as well as the backup from the Haunt. Skewer across, they're trying to chase down Palace. Palace using the Rage in an attempt to get away. Hung Hung forced forward by the Viper. See if he can catch Palace. 458 is also looking for Ken. Goes in with the dagger. Ken, is he going to be able to get away? He is. Lifestealer inside of the creep. Can they chase it? They can't. It's a little too close to the tower. TP backups coming in for Execration. So Palace will be able to make it away.
I thought that creep was trying to high five, but it's actually a Lifestealer inside of it. You know, the new high five with the paw. It's just impossible to kill Spectre and Mag at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's what Execration is doing correctly, you know. They're going for the kills that they can get. Oh, Snapfire.
Oh. Okay, they say, screw the offlane and let's kill a support instead. Why not? Why not? They get the eyes onto Earl first, so they'll go for him.
They can go into Roche Pit straight away. You have Nether Toxin, you have Empower, you have Spectre with Manta Style. Desolate works on the Roche. Tag team. This Roche is going to go down so quickly, and Phoenix will keep them alive with the Sunray. Yeah, so I believe Magnus disassembled that Echo Saber and got BKB plus Orchid.
Well, now, skewering. They're going to go with a hook shot straight over towards the mid. Silence out onto the Snapfire. They've lost the touch, but Hung Hung's able to get the RP onto the two of them. He's trying his best to bring them down. Will finally get RR. Can they catch anything else here further? Execration, they're even thinking about fighting back. Ken, he's popped the BKB. Hung Hung skewing up onto Raging Potato, drags him back with a shockwave as they take out the Snapfire. Break onto the Lifestealer, 458, turning over towards him, moving in with the dagger. He still has the Rage as well as the Halberd, but he's been silenced. They've got the damage to take him out before the silence ends. They don't. Palace now getting the Rage off in time. They're trying to hit the 8. Palace, he comes back in and attempts to do it. Jumps into a creep. It's going to be that Ken is dead. He went into... I feel like Palace could have hit that egg and might have had it, but he said, nah. Jumped into the creep, saved himself. Ken dies because of it.
They got you baited. Like, when you see egg in front of you, you start hitting it, but then you remember it's a position 5 Phoenix who doesn't care that much whether he dies or not, if they can get the return kill from it.
And we're seeing that... Yeah, for the next fight, they've just picked up 2 Halberds on both Bombi and Yassi, 496. So this Lifestealer's life is going to get even more miserable in the team fights. A lot of disarms from 496 now.
When I first saw the change to Echo Saber, where you could disassemble it, I was like, that's not good. But now seeing certain heroes, you know, just getting it, you know, getting that Orchid plus a BKB, or I think Void Spirit is a good hero that can do it. No, but Void Spirit, what am I talking about? I did not wake up properly. You know, I was just thinking get Heaven's Halberd on certain heroes and get Orchid. Name one hero, Owen. I can't think of anyone who could do that.
Like, what do you mean, do what?
Disassemble like, Echo Saber and get Heaven's Halberd plus Orchid. Who's going to benefit from that?
What, other than Magnus?
Yeah.
Could you do on Sven, or that just you don't want to Orchid on?
Nah, I don't want to Orchid on Sven. That's the issue.
Nah.
So yeah, it seems like Mag is the biggest winner of this change.
All top. Horn comes in onto Ken. He's dead. It's 496 getting decently ahead now. 4 to 5k lead. I mean, what melee int heroes are there?
I don't know. I just don't.
Like there are melee int heroes, right? I'm being dumb here, right?
Ogre is a melee int hero, right? I never know if he's a strength or int hero. I think he's int because he's melee. That's what makes him unique.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, okay, so Echo Saber,
Echo Saber, Ogre. Okay.
I know what I'm doing in my next pub. Oh, they're being able to take out the Aegis. Palos, he's not really doing much damage at all to Hung Hung. As with the BKB, Hung Hung, he just turns with the RP. Doesn't want to commit though. The stolen poison from Rubik, causing Hung Hung to back away. The force and he's out though. Hung Hung's away. They kite Palos up. The Supernova successful as the whole team of them stunned. They get the kill onto the Rubik. And the cleanup, is he going to be there? They're looking for that BB. Ken comes in with the BKB. Cookie will secure them the kill. Lifestealer's able to jump into Ken. He's going to be fine, and now with the silence onto Bombi, they could maybe get this Phoenix kill as well. With the Cogs push back, they do. Execration with a solid hold.
The Lifestealer, he just stands his ground and fight.
It
suddenly
out.
heals up to full HP. Yeah, I think they need to use like RP, Tusk, Viper Strike just to get rid of Lifestealer. They can deal with rest. Oh, missed Shockwave.
Oh no, what was the Shockwave? That would have had the kill as well if he hit that one, Hung Hung. But off the mark, the kiss is coming in as well as Palos. Diving in, Ken's going to TP over. Hung Hung's got to pop the BKB.
Another miss.
What is he doing? Oh, these are some shocking waves. He still gets the kill, at least with the help of his team coming in. 458 turns over towards Palos. Palos go for the TP out. They got anything through the Magic Community? They don't. He makes it away.
It's very important that you have abilities that can stop Magic Community TP out, especially when you play against Jug, Lifestealer. So now Tusk has a Blink Dagger. I think he should be saving those like Blink Snowballs for defensive purposes instead of just going in. All right, Lifestealer is being scouted out.
Oh.
Full Mjolnir, Heaven's Halberd. Like
he's getting big. And is he getting big enough to carry against the Spectre? Well, we've definitely seen in the last fights that Earl's doing a good job of grabbing the poison and breaking these heroes as the Rubik. And now with the Cogs down, it's going to be the Hornet from 458. 458 wanting to fight. The Bash is there as well as the RP onto the two of them on the back. They've got the control on a Raging Potato. BKB popped by Hung as Palos turns. He's looking towards this Magnus, but he's been disarmed. The punch up as well. They've taken out the Lifestealer. 458 continues to finish off Raging Potato. What can Ken find with the cleanup? He's trying with the BKB, but the Force Staff breaks the Viper out of the Sprout. Cogs from RR push Assy back, but he commits in with the Snowball and the Shards. Dagger as well as they're diving in past the Tier 2 tower. As 496 team wipe Execration.
When Lifestealer does not have Rage and he's sitting in Nether Toxin, like he's not life-stealing, and that's the huge issue. So they have abilities, you know, just to keep him inside of Nether Toxin, and now with the Basher on Spectre, I love the build-up from Spectre this game. You know, just straight up drums, tank it up, get Manta style, Easy Roche now getting a basher, so they have even more control for the lifestealer. Now going for Scotty, so that's some extra stats, and certain heroes like a lifestealer, Scotty just completely destroys them.
And look at the levels after that fight as well. This Spectre somehow just level 23. I mean, so it's the Magnus. You got 2 cores here, 3 levels ahead of the enemy cores. And they're pretty massive right now.
Also, 2 Heaven's Halberd.
Yeah.
1 on Viper, 1 on Phoenix, really helping out against the lifestealer. So the only damage he deals pretty much is during the rage.
I mean, yeah, look, it just felt like a tough lifestealer game from the draft. I mean, they felt enough belief in it to grab it as the 10th pick, but you know, there was already the heroes, the magic immunity piercing abilities, and now this itemization from 496. It's making the game very, very hard for Palos.
There's a double damage on the bottom lane, and the Roche could be spawning in 20 seconds. They don't have a bottle to save it for a bit later, but this will do. Just go in with the Haunt.
All right, look for a freebie, and he's found it. 458, straight in onto Raging Potato. An easy kill for the Spectre. Bottom lane, Ken's trying to go on this Phoenix, but there's backup, and Ken, he's dead. 2 heroes down for a minute.
These are 2 cores, remember?
Yeah, they can maybe start even poking on the high ground. They're going to take this tier 2 down very quickly. The creep wave's already here. They'll just push on. A buyback has just come back available for Ken, so he can get in. There'll be no kisses on the defense here from the Snapfire. 496 up to the high ground they go. What sort of a defense can Execration put together? Not much at all by the looks of it, as the tier 3's gone. Hung on, they're just in. Yassi jumps forward onto Earl. An easy collapse onto the Rubik. Palos having to put the rage to get away after he TP's in. He cannot push back 496. And this bottom racks will be theirs. Over towards the mid they go. They'll look to try and poke at another. As Hung, he found an opportunity. Seizes it straight away. Onto the lifestealer he goes. Palos is out. Dead without buyback. As 496, they'll be able to definitely get at least a second set. Top lane, tier 1 does still stand, so no chance for the mega creeps as of yet. I don't know if they'll have the time to try and threaten the game. I mean, sure, the lifestealer's down for a minute, but everybody else is going to respawn. We'll see how confident they feel. They're going to play it safe. 2 sets of racks, back off. They're at a 17k lead.
Perfect timing for a Roche spawning.
Yeah.
It's going to be up in a second. Someone's going to scout that out. It's just 496 gaming at the moment.
It really is. They're getting far ahead. Seeing as well on the Magnus, opting for the Basher himself. As Hung. Oh, where's the Bash? Where's the Bash? Where's the Bash? Or does he not have it equipped?
Oh, he had it in backpack.
Oh, no. Backpacked. What was it backpacked over? The Wraith Band.
I hate the way Dota 2 delivers items to you. This was not the case, but you know, if you have like 6,000 gold item and the dust and 1 slot, it's gonna give you dust for some reason. I just don't know how it works. Probably someone knows. Feel free to hit me up at my Twitter.
What's going on here? Horn straight in. 458, he's just gone into the base. He doesn't care. He's straight in. He knows they can't kill him, or at least he feels they can't. There'll be a buyback from Ken. From the side, DatBB comes in with a Viper Strike. The clock's down. 458's getting low, but he gets out. DatBB being focused by Palos with the Essence Ring and the Sunray, keeping him alive. Viper Strike upon Viper Strike being tossed around between the teams. Palos trying to go in onto the Spectre, but as soon as he goes, he has to get out. Jumps into Ken, is taken back to safety. They will manage to kill the Tusk, but the Rubik falling low. Cookie to the side. Raging Potato will save him. Hung having to skewer away. Will live only just Ken thinking about TPing across to try and finish him off, but there's backup surrounding Hung. So hard for them to find the Magnus.
Spectre did not lose Aegis in that fight. She's level 25. Mag is also 25 with that Basher. And a full Bloodthorn.
Yeah.
Now even full Abyssal on Spectre.
Yeah, so much lockdown and catch and a single target to deal with this Palos lifestealer. Will manage to get out, catch themselves, Bombi. And Bombi's going to try his best with the Jukes, but there's no juking the full 5-man of Execration. They'll lose the Phoenix. And 496, I mean, as I said, that top lane's still got a tasty tier 1 and a tier 2 for them to claim. So we'll see if they head over there. They're gonna try and poke at 458. Got the lift up too. Have they got any further damage? Ken is TPing over with the dagger. 458 already able to break away. And still trying to chase a little bit. They do have a hook shot. Still very risky committing onto this Spectre. 458, such a big target. Hook shot into the Magnus. Hung has to put the BKB and Skewer away. They will chase this, as the BKB is going to surely come to an end, but Hung turns with the silence onto World, gets the kill. Palos tries to lead in with the open wounds. Ken trying with the Sprout control. He'll turn over towards Yassi. The Viper Strike from DatBB thrown down onto Palos. Snowball up towards Ken, but the BKB's pot. Skewer across.
There
RP. Hung holds down the final two with the RP. As that'll be it. GG is called. 496 will take this game one. I think as expected, but Execration certainly put up a lot of fights. They did. At the end of the day, it was always going to be a game that was